I feel like if you want to expand into most skills, game design is the way to go. That gets you everything. I think once I started getting into computers, I never looked back. Recess handles the focusing on skills you want to develop the most. It's really efficient. You have a helper, a guide, and they can target you, point you in the exact direction. I thought you meant you were going to get mean with it.
No.
You're going down, Zayin.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Ella, and we are homeschoolers. We met through a homeschool community called Recess, where we found our love for learning and podcasting.
Come join us on our journey of self-directed learning as we dive into all the things about Recess on our
Recess Rundown podcast.
And we will hopefully see you there. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Recess Rundown podcast. Today we are hanging out with Zayin, a game designer, tech support expert, YouTuber, and the creator of the Minecraft Recess minigame hub. Zayin runs some incredible game design courses right here at Recess, helping kids turn their love for Minecraft into real-world skills like coding, art, and actually even storytelling. We are so excited to chat about map making, game design, and how to build your own mini worlds. Thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, before we jump into our first question, we have to share a quick backstory on how you got here today. So, actually, a few months ago, on our parent Facebook feed, my mom posted a question asking everyone, which recess guide would you love to see next on the podcast? And a parent actually specifically requested to have you on the show to talk about game design. So we are so excited to have you here by a popular demand.
And the fact that you're an awesome guide.
I appreciate it. I've been excited to see how you guys keep making these podcast episodes. They're exciting.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's fun to be behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you first get into game design, and what do you love most about it? I'm sure, since you're doing this as your job, you're probably passionate about it.
Sure, yeah. So game design, man. Now, the first thing, a lot of us that get into game design, we like games, right? We all love playing games, but sometimes we start feeling like, okay, I like this game, but I wish this was changed. And at a certain point, you're like, well, maybe I'll just make my own game. And I think what really got me into game design was definitely that I started in Minecraft, actually, because the bar of entry is just, it's so low that it's really easy to get into it. And I think starting there really helped me to expand into other skill sets. Starting with nothing, you can really learn quite a bit just within the game itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Minecraft provides such imagination and just like creativiness just getting into it. So my little brother, he's like 5 and he's already playing Minecraft, building his own places. Oh, I want to change this because my older brother, he's making this special add-ons or mods to Minecraft. And then my little brother gets inspired and he like builds his own things and he's like, I wish there was this different block. And he's like, can I get your mods from like what you have on your computer? But yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. I know whenever Nate hosts an event, I love playing his maps. They're so well made. And your little brother, whenever we're meeting for our weekly meetups, it's so sweet. I love watching him whenever he's playing. Obviously I'm listening to you too, but your brother is also adorable playing Minecraft. So Zayin, your website is for the Brick Masons, a group of map makers who teamed up to build maps and help the Minecraft map making community grow. How did you become a part of this team, and what exactly do you do in this group? We're all curious.
Oh yeah, the Brick Masons. So we'll step back a little bit. I mean, starting out, you work as yourself, right? You start, okay, I can do this. And then at a certain point, you realize, well, I want to do all of these things. I can't do them all by myself unless, I spent forever doing them all. And so I wanted to work with other people. And I started the Brick Masons years ago. but then I ended up canceling the group, joining another team, and then that team kind of disbanded. So I restarted the Brick Masons. So it's actually round two for the Brick Masons, and the name came about by my username is Lego Bro, and so I just say, okay, they're made of bricks. I can't probably shouldn't call it the Lego Masons. We'll call it the Brick Masons, and so from there that was the name. But working as the team leader, I try to make decisions that can help us all as developers work together to make really neat projects. And one of the more recent projects we've released was A Fox's Life 2. And when you're dealing with, I think the map ended up being like 1,000 by 1,000 blocks. Like it was huge. And it wasn't vanilla terrain, it was pretty much fully custom terrain on top of that. And so I had probably 5 or so builders working nonstop building that. I was the programmer doing the coding behind the scenes because that's what I found the most enjoyable. And then later, halfway through the project, we actually had a really talented musician join, and there's a full custom OST for the game. And because of all of that, I couldn't have done any of it. Maybe half of the building on my own after years, and the map took 3 years to make, anyways. But with working together as a team, it turned out so much better than what I would even imagine. So just being able to be part of a team, that's all I really wanted for the Brick Masons. I just wanted, okay, let's make cool stuff together. And that's what it ended up being.
That's awesome. I do have to wonder, are you into Lego?
I am, yes. I am.
That's so cool. I think working in group always makes everything more fun, especially for me. I think I really enjoy being in a group and getting everyone to work together. And I can't believe it took so long to make that map. I'm obviously quite large. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, I would think the group ended up being total that worked on the map was probably 20 if you include some of the testers, the major testers. And when you're dealing with that many people, and of course we do it just for fun. It's we don't make any money from the maps, but because we do that, it's not always easy to. Sometimes we burn out, and so we kind of take turns working on the map. Maybe I take a break for a couple months, or the builders take a break for a little bit. And being in a larger group like that, it gives everybody a chance to still have fun doing it, but you still get a nice map by the end of things. And I think a lot of the lessons I learned from that map, I think, helped me in game design in general.
Were there any like large changes during that project that kind of switched up everything for you or for the group?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think some of the larger changes had to do with kind of the scope of the map. So we kind of didn't actually design it to be custom terrain at the start, but the builders, they just started building it, and I'm not going to stop them. It ended up being really nice. Maybe we can get some, if you guys do. I don't know if you do much B-roll, but I can send some screenshots to you guys afterwards. But
yeah, definitely,
that'd be great.
Sure. And but another lesson, or not a lesson, but another big change up was the Minecraft updates. That's the one bad thing about working in Minecraft. They add new stuff, and that's cool. You know, you can swap things out. That's not too bad. But they also really like reworking the programming side of things. So the whole thing broke probably 5 or 6 times throughout the development process. And it feels kind of bad when you're working on something it was already tested, it was already working, and then all of a sudden a bunch of weird bugs get introduced. You have to kind of start over from scratch with the testing. But it ended up definitely a patience lesson for everyone involved.
That's awesome. So you built custom data packs that act like dynamic Legos, so kids can design games without learning or needing to code or even know how. But how did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, so are you talking about the minigame hub or just Minecraft in general? I'm just curious to the direction we're.
I mean, really anything, just
Sure.
like.
Yeah, so the programming, the data pack side of things, that's built by Mojang. I didn't even touch that. I helped the kids with that, and it's cool because you can. It's kind of a really good stepping stone into programming because every line of code is a very in-game action. So you teleport, or you set a block, or you summon a mob, or you kill a mob. So it's very easy to understand what exactly is happening. And of course, there's some things where you're dealing with numbers a little bit more, and that's kind of we all get lost in the weeds there. But on the minigame hub, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more later, I built a data pack so kids can focus not on the programming side of as much, but more on the building and the level design side. It was actually meant to be level design, but it ended up being kind of more encompassing than that because I think level design is often overlooked. We all see a game and you see programming, we see art, and maybe music. But level design, putting those things together in the right way, is just as important to making a good game. And I think that's something we can all the kids on the minigame hub have really enjoyed practicing their skills in that way.
That's awesome. I'm not really into like building or anything like that, but I really love watching my friends and other people on recess get really into building and data packing, map making, all of that. And the stuff they make is really incredible. So, are there any like huge milestones that you've seen kids hit while in the um, like your hub?
Yeah, there's a few. There's when we first filled up the first page of the parkours, there's 27, and then we ran out of space, so I had to build a new system so you could look through more than the chest full of levels you could go to. And then we went to opened up the 4 other game modes. So there's parkour, TNT tag, kit PvP, capture the flag, and puzzle. And I think the expansion of skills, I think everyone's built, I think, one map in each of the categories. And I like to see the kids how they've developed with uh, how you think differently about how those work, right? Parkour is going to look very different than a good kit PvP. You don't want to be jumping as much when you're in combat, or a TNT tag. You kind of want it to have some parkour elements, but you don't want it to be exactly the same. And so you can carry some of your skills and some of your design aspects, but you're designing around a completely different set of rules. And being able to do that, I think the kids have expanded a lot in that way, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah, like I can. Yeah, there's so many bright kids in recess that are building such amazing things. But what kind of games, like for example, parkour, PvP, or puzzles, are the kids currently building and playtesting in the hub?
So there's a couple. There's one kid who's been building. He's been kind of reworking the capture the flag system. So he's adding a lot more to it than what was originally. Right now, you just spawn with iron armor, and that's pretty much it. It's real simple. You capture the flag, you return it. But he built 2 castles that have TNT cannons that can launch at each other. They can you can have gates that have to be opened with TNT, so you have to go and fight mobs to get a key to unlock a thing to do this, and so it adds a lot more gameplay steps that the other capture the flag maps just don't have yet. And I think between that and another kid has been working on building his own mode entirely, and that's been really cool to see. Which is I'm not going to reveal it too early because we don't know if it's going to be fully released anytime soon. But working on the separate modes. Then another kid. Okay, you think puzzle. What ideas for puzzles when you think, okay, redstone, that's one thing, maybe something to do with placing items in the right place. He built his own crossword, and that was really cool to see. So you can place, you get mob heads that have the letters on them, and you can place them on the wall, and then it verifies. I don't know if anyone's beaten it yet, but it was a really cool way to think outside the box, and I was excited to help him with that because it was it was very unique, and that's exactly what the minigame hub is for: is things that you don't see everywhere else.
That's so cool. Oh, now I really want to go and play all those games, especially the crossword though. I'm waiting for the day they make a Minecraft Wordle. I'm a huge Wordle nerd, so that in Minecraft would be even better. All right, so once a student builds a map, how do they use player feedback to test it, fix bugs, and make it more fun? I think there's also probably, you need to figure out the best way to deliver it to a person to make it sound constructive, because you don't want to just completely attack their idea.
That is an eternal challenge. So a lot of times what's cool about the minigame hub is we just have one player in spectator mode and they watch them play the map. Now that's great for seeing exactly what parts a player might get stuck on. Unfortunately, sometimes it leads to maybe for a puzzle, the answer being given too early, spelling it out, or maybe insults. How did you not figure this out? And that can be not as helpful if they end up, insulting the play tester. But a lot of times it is something, okay, what didn't work? And we have to kind of just talk about it. That's the best way to do it. Because sometimes you watch someone do something and you want to help them because you made it, you know the answer, you can see it, it's so obvious to you. But the second someone else plays it, it's not easy. It's not always obvious as you thought it was. And so that's when you need to slow down. That's when we all take time. Okay, what did you like about this map? We ask the playtester that. And then the developer, we get them to listen to that and then see, okay, what didn't work as well? And going over, I got stuck here and it didn't seem like it made sense, or this part, it didn't seem fair. Maybe it's a parkour and the jump was just impossible, and it's the last jump after you jumped for 5 minutes, you get reset all the way back to the start. That no one wants to do that. So learning those gameplay design decisions is something the testers can help with, just because that feedback is it's a little bit slow process, but it's important that we get not just one tester too, but multiple testers. And that's how you get the most balanced feedback as well.
Definitely. And I think learning how to give balanced feedback is a really important life skill. Like you said, working in those big teams like the Brick Masons, you need to learn how to give that feedback, or else it's going to turn into a big argument. I've definitely had that happen many times in teams that I've been on, and then it kind of fizzles out. You're like, oh, all right, well, yeah, but that's really cool. It's nice hearing about that. So what are some other great games with built-in editors where kids can try this out?
Oh man, there's a lot of good game. Anything sandbox, that's my first response. Anything that's sandbox, you can make a game in it. I don't care what the game is. You can find a way to, because a game doesn't have to be, you don't have to program something for it to be making a game within a game. You can reuse everything. The first Minecraft maps, just redstone, real basic stuff, but it did exactly what you wanted it to do. And so, man, I don't know. There's there's a lot of them. You can even make games, and obvious one is like Roblox. That's got its own developer economy. But then games like Stardew Valley, I could see someone making making a mini game in that or something where you get multiplayer together and first one to do this wins. Or man, I think almost any game you can find a way to add additional gameplay just by talking with friends and coming up with ideas.
Nice. Are there any games other than Minecraft that you like doing this in specifically, where you just have a lot of fun doing it?
I don't know if there is actually. Like I'm kind of a one trick pony in that regard. I stick with Minecraft. I like to call myself a gamer, but this is a little secret between us. I don't play that many games. I play I probably get a ton of time in Minecraft, and then my next game is like 500 hours, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. Don't let anyone tell you that's not a lot of time, but that's not really, in terms of gamers, that's not that much. So, I guess one I could say is Overwatch. That's one I kind of gameize a little bit, where you can go against certain bots and do certain things. And that's mostly I do that with friends. I'd never publish anything there, but that's something that's kind of fun to do, because sometimes you play a game and you love the game, but the normal game loop gets a little dry. So if you ever play a game and feel that way, just make your own game out of it.
Yeah. I'm wondering, do you have a favorite game?
A favorite game? Well, is it a cop out if I say Minecraft?
I mean, you like what you like, right?
Yeah, it's true.
When did you start playing Minecraft?
I was kind of I was later to the scene than a lot of my friends were. I think it was like the beginning of 7th grade for me. That's how I remember that. And most people had been playing for 3 or 4 years before that I in school. So I think it was update 1.4, because I remember they added redstone stuff right after that, and I was excited. So it's funny how if you've played Minecraft long enough, and you can ask any Minecrafter this, they can gauge what was going on in their life, but what was added in Minecraft that year.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing.
I mean, let's say it is. It's,
sure. Yeah.
Like the game. It marks your milestones, I guess.
That's right. Yeah.
We asked this question to all of our guests. Would you have wanted recess when you were a kid?
What was that one more time?
Would you have wanted recess when you were a kid?
Okay, I thought that's what you said, but I wanted to be absolutely sure. Yes. When I first joined recess, I was like, man, this is something I wish I had. That was my first thought, because it's so cool that a lot of school, like public school, is you get the material, you do the homework, and I didn't mind homework. I'm weird that way. I got my homework done real fast. You can make fun of me for that. I'm kind of a nerd. You can get that from me liking programming. That's fine. But when you realize that, I feel like recess handles the focusing on skills you want to develop the most. And when you do that, you learn a lot of things that you eventually want to do anyways. And so it's really cool to expand on skills that you wanted to expand, but maybe you didn't know exactly which direction. Or even if you did know what direction, it's really efficient. You have a helper, a guide, and they can target you, point you in the exact direction you want to go. And I feel like that would have been really cool if I was a kid.
Definitely. I think many people would have liked recess as a kid. And I'm kind of curious, what did you think of homeschoolers before, joining recess or hearing about it? And if you say we're weird, we're kicking you off the podcast. Just kidding. But
well, I mean, no, I'm just kidding. No, I think I kind of wanted to homeschool, but I was like, by the time I felt like it wasn't something that I needed to do, because I understand some people need to do it and it helps them a lot learning, and then some people just like to do it. I would have been, I would have loved to do it, because setting your own pace, that is a huge difference, to be able to work at your own pace because you actually learn stuff. If you're being forced the exact pace as everyone else, you're either too slow or you're not fast enough. And both ways, it kind of limits you. And I really like that about homeschooling. I think if you really work hard, that's the one thing I wish there was a way to make sure homeschooled kids worked hard, because sometimes, being able to choose your own thing and not knowing what to choose, it can be easy to simply not choose anything. And that can cause problems, of course. But if you're really guided and you know exactly what you're doing, you can come out way on top. You can learn so much stuff. You have so many skills before you even get started as an adult, and that's really neat.
Yeah, I think that was a great way of putting it. Thank you.
So we also almost ask this question to all of our guests on the show. What did you want to be when you grow up, and did that change over time?
Yeah, what did I want to be? There's a lot of things. Like a long time ago, I wanted to be a professional Lego builder, right? Because who wouldn't want to do that all day long? Well, maybe in hindsight, it would have made your fingers sore after a while, and you get calluses and weird parts on your fingers. But I think once I started getting into computers, I never looked back. Anything software, I like doing hardware stuff too, like building my own computer and anything like that. I think it's just fun. I like working with them, and I don't think there's really too many other things. Of course, once you get into software, you can focus into game design, and that's really what I I still aspire to be a true game designer, and I think that's something we can all. There's so many aspects of game design that we can learn about. There's no one that's perfectly the best game designer. There's so many different ways you can improve your skills, and that's partially why I like it. There's so many. If you ever get bored with one thing, you can go do something else.
Definitely. So I was kind of thinking, what about the hub that you made? Is that similar to the Brick Masons?
It's kind of it's structured differently. So the Brick Masons is like an online chat group. Basically, is essentially what it is. Uh, the hub a lot of the software side of things works the same way. So I copy the data packs over, and it gets done. But the Brick Masons server, the Minecraft server, so there's a Discord server and then a Minecraft server. Uh, the Minecraft server is just the map we're working on, and whatever it is, that's what's loaded. Right now, I'm working on a card collecting game where you fight and you open card packs and you can unlock mobs and all sorts of stuff. And the way it's set up is kind of like that's the development environment. Meanwhile, the minigame hub is a kind of a sealed thing. You can join that and just play games, or you can make games. It's kind of does a dual purpose. And of course, you can play the single map at once. But the with the Brick Masons, it's just the one map, right? The minigame hub, it can be all sorts of levels and all sorts of different games that kids have made. So it's set up in some ways very similarly. I'm telling you, the software, I could practically copy and paste parts of it because learning different ways to do things over the years, there's kind of a best way to do them, and you just keep doing that. But other than that, no, they're pretty different.
Interesting. All right. Cool. So with AI and vibe coding, kind of, or, just talking to a chatbot to write code becoming so popular, is it still important for kids to learn how to code by hand? And have you ever tried your hand at vibe coding?
I have tried vibe coding, and I see why so many people like it. I get it. But the thing with programming from scratch, by everything by hand, you know what it does. And if something's not working exactly the way you made it, you can go back and tweak that little variable. With vibe coding, I feel like you just copy the whole code and send it back to the bot and say, okay, fix this. And it's not in a perfect spot yet. I think that's part of the problem. With larger applications, especially games, there's a lot of room for error. And programming is very precise. You have to make things pretty much right or it's going to behave pretty strange. And I think as time goes on, I think there's going to be a happy medium that we can find between vibe coding and writing things by scratch, because there's a lot of tedious part, especially in Minecraft code. I definitely have vibe coded one thing in Minecraft, and it actually worked surprisingly. It was an elo system, which is like a for you can say for chess, it's like the ranking system, but it was for a different game, and it seemed to have worked. I I haven't found any bugs with it so far, and it's just math, which helps a little bit. But I was just curious to see if it would work. And other things I've vibe coded in Minecraft. The problem is there's so many version updates, and that breaks it every. It looks back at an old version and then as a reference, and it doesn't understand. But in other programming languages, it's getting harder and harder to say it doesn't have any value, because so many people are using them and are making stuff with them. But I still rest on we need to make sure if it's something you launch to other people, we need to make sure we know what it does. And with vibe coded projects, if you're just doing it for yourself, it doesn't matter. I don't care. But we don't want to be releasing security vulnerabilities into the into everyone's computers or whatever. That scares me.
Definitely, I can understand that. So, for someone who doesn't know how to code, like me, and who possibly wants to create slash code a calculator for their guinea pig vlog based around cage size, what does that look like? Because really, other than going to go and code, learn how to code, which I'm not necessarily interested in, how do I vibe code that, or just create that in a way where I can easily do that?
Yeah. So in vibe coding, that's kind of the whole appeal. Is you don't have to. It's not. You're leaning in. Vibing is kind of like you're relaxing and you're leaning back, right? So it's cool because you just say, "Hey, I'm trying to calculate this thing for my guinea pigs." You give it kind of the parameters you want, and then for something like that, I feel like it would work instantly. And of course, you have to give what you have to eventually choose a language, a computer language. But for something, it also will make that decision for you if you ask it to. And for learning that yourself, the really hard part is that first step. Once you get to that, after that first printing "hello world" and doing a little bit of math, okay, then I know how this works. And it definitely is a learning curve, and it's not something that is. Once you get to a certain point, it starts being fun. That first little bit, I'll be the first to admit, it's not the most fun because it seems like, okay, I wrote all of this. I wrote 50 characters, and all it does is say hi. I don't. That's not helping me. That was a lot of work just to do nothing. But when you practice a little bit more, you can write faster, and it just is more efficient, and then it's worth it. But for something like that, I would say vibe code it, but also don't just run the output. If you want to learn a little bit of how it works, have it say, okay, what does this line do? What does this line do? What does this line do? Or what does this chunk do? And by breaking it down, AI is a lot better at understanding a small problem to solve rather than a whole program. And that's a really good way to learn right now, I feel like.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I was also kind of planning if anything went wrong or if it wasn't quite how I wanted it to, I'd just go to some of my friends who are very good coders, be like, take a look. I need help, please. But yeah, thank you. Thank you. So what about data packs? Can you use AI to make really good data packs, ones that will work and are on the same level as a programmer? Or do you have to learn how to code for those?
It's getting better. It's definitely getting better. I don't think so yet. I don't think it's there yet. It's for some of the more in the weeds, like if you need to do some math operation, you could break things down, and that's kind of a lot of what I think. Like I just said, if you kind of break it down smaller piece by piece, then you could do more. But if you just say, give me a whole data pack, it's going to be pretty simple or it's not going to work. So unfortunately, it's kind of in a spot right now. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's someone building a tool right now that's really, really cool and works really well. But I don't. I'm not aware of it yet. So we'll find out. I'm sure there will be one pretty soon.
All right. Well, let's hope or not hope that there is.
Well, what would you say to homeschool parents who wonder about the educational value of game design? Because I would think there's some people out there that would think kind of negative about that. And what real world skills like system thinking, art writing, or collaboration do kids actually practice when making these great games?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah, you think game design, okay, you're making games. You're not doing, you're not learning anything, right? But really, I feel like if you want to learn how to program, if you want to learn how to do art for a purpose, because sometimes, art is nice to hang on your wall or to practice your skills of art. But sometimes if you need a very specific set of guidelines for art, that's kind of an interesting challenge too. Or if you want to be a musician with the kind of a similar set of guidelines, or a level designer, which is kind of like a mix between art and programming, somewhere in between. Or there's one more, but I can't think of it right now. Oh, sound design. There you go. That's an important thing. You can't forget sound design. That's important. But I feel like a lot of those skills are not fun to work on. I mean, art and music, those are fun to work on their own. But programming and like level design, that type of thing, or kind of designing, I could even consider architecture, is not always fun if you don't know what to start with. And if you have a programming project, like, what do you do? Okay, this has already been done. I want to make this. Oh, it's already been done. But with a game, it doesn't matter if it's been done because it's fun to play. You can at least have fun when you're done with the project. And having that the end goal of a game is really motivating because hey, it's not just a calculator that I'm building. No offense to your guinea pig calculator, because that sounds like a cool project. I want to hear about that later. But sometimes things like that, okay, you make it, you're done, and you kind of, okay, whatever, I'll just move on to the next thing, right? But with a game, that's something you can completely build. Okay, you work with other people. Collaboration, that's an important skill. And iterating, that's the thing that you really learn with game design, because you build a lot of things. And that's one thing I teach in some of my classes with level design is prototype in stone. Don't make it look pretty until you know it's good, because you're going to break it. You're going to tear it back down because this part wasn't good, or this part didn't flow right, or this. And that process of making something, okay, seeing what's wrong with it, tearing it down, and then reworking it is a lot easier in game design, because all you have to say is this fun or is this not fun? And if it's not fun, then you change it. With a program, okay, well, it just kind of works. It kind of doesn't. I'm a little confused. And there's some of that in game design. But I feel like if you want to expand into most skills, game design is the way to go. That gets you everything if you want it to. You don't have to, you can work with other people to fill in your gaps of knowledge. And that's what I do. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's definitely, I still feel like it's the best way to learn programming, especially.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I don't know a lot about programming, game design, or anything, but it's really interesting hearing you talk about it. So, how did you learn everything you know about data packs and programming and everything? Was it self-taught or did someone help you?
A lot of it was self-taught, but I'm not going to say I went and read everything myself. There's a lot of really good YouTube videos, and a lot of what makes, like, a lot of what Minecraft requires you to understand is all of these updates. So in this version, you had the teleport command. I think that was I want to say 1.4. I could be wrong. But you had just like one or two commands, and then the next version you get one more command, and then this version. So because I actually kind of grew up along with all of that stuff, I was kind of lucky because I don't have 45 or 100, I don't know how many there are, 100 commands to look through when I first start. I just had, these commands. Okay, I know what those do. What's the new one do? And then you can kind of build on your skill set. And so that's a lot of how I learned, was a lot of YouTube videos for snapshots. Okay, here's the new beta release of the game, and I watched that, and okay, this is how this kind of works. There's also a lot of generators online. So sometimes with Minecraft, you can get kind of complicated with some of the commands. And if you just use online generators, there's a lot of much smarter than me people out there. And if you ask them, basically they built tools, you just use those tools. And as you're using a tool, it's kind of like AI. You don't just use the tool and then you're done. It's also good if you can kind of piece together, okay, this is kind of how it's building that. And by doing that, you don't understand just how to make what you're making, but you can also expand it into something else. So it's a many layers of learning over the years is how I got here.
Nice. I think, yeah, many layers can apply to many things. And I think, like you said, it was really lucky that you were able to learn as they were slowly adding things on, by not kind of just being thrown into the deep end with everything like some people are nowadays. That was really interesting. All right. So we're at the end now. So do you want to play a game?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay. Sadly, we have not actually coded you a game. But we do have a quick round of Minecraft trivia.
Okay.
We'll keep track of your scores and see if you, our Minecraft master, can actually back it up. All right. Maddie's welcome to play too if she wants to, for a little friendly competition. Yes? No?
I'm not sure. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if it'll be friendly. I'll be like, I don't think I'll be able to answer any of them.
Oh, I thought you meant you were going to get mean with it.
No. I play Minecraft, but I'm not into like Minecraft trivia.
You're going down, Zayin.
I know. I was getting scared.
No. I'm gonna go down.
All right. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Okay. How many blocks tall is the warden?
I believe it's 3.
I'm gonna say 3.
Yes, it is 3. 3.5, but I think I'm counting that.
Oh, it's more than 3. Okay. It's good to know.
What is the rarest ore in Minecraft?
Oh, I believe it's deep slate emerald ore. It could also be deep slate coal ore. That's my second option.
I'm gonna say emeralds.
What I have here just says emeralds, so yes, I think you're both right. But
okay,
I think from my very basic Minecraft knowledge, I think the deep slate makes sense.
Yeah, probably.
What year was Minecraft officially released?
I think it was. I could be totally wrong. I think it was like 2012. That was before me, though, so I'm okay if I get this one wrong.
I'm gonna go 2011.
Maddie is right. It was
oh man!
2011.
Say, I knew you would get a one up on me.
What was Minecraft originally called while they were making it?
Oh my gosh, I know this.
Isn't it just cave? No, it's not cave game.
Like I've heard this before, but like
I'm just gonna stick with cave game.
Oh, I don't know.
Cave game is right.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're tied.
All right. How many blocks away can the warden detect you by vibration?
Ooh. I thought it would be 16. But technically, it could be infinite if you have far enough range, and they have relayed skulk sensors.
I have no idea. I'm going to say 20.
16.
Okay.
How do you make a lead?
Now that's a tricky one. I think, did they change the recipe recently? Maybe they didn't.
I'm not sure.
I might be thinking of something. Okay, so it's 4-string and a slime ball. It's the top two, the slime ball's in the middle. It's kind of like an L shape of string, and then the opposite corner is the last string.
Oh, we're getting technical. That's almost should count for extra points. Maddie?
I have no idea. I just like some string, I guess.
Zayin was right. We even got the demonstration.
Exactly.
How many pixels is the default Minecraft skin?
How many pixels? Is it like tall or like the actual skin image?
I think just the general.
Okay. Idea. I think the skin file is 64 by 64.
I'm just gonna not guess, but
Zayin is right.
Okay.
All right. Last one. How many biomes are in Minecraft?
Oh man, it's a lot now. What is it, like 131? I think was the last I saw. I could be wrong though.
131?
It's a lot, yeah.
Really? Oh.
When I was Googling it, I got it just says over 60. I'm gonna
okay.
So
I could be wrong.
Okay. It's 64 distinct biomes in Java Edition and 61 in Bedrock. Interesting.
I wonder how they slice that.
I know.
I don't know. All right, so that was it. We got Maddie with 3, Zayin with 6. I mean,
you put up a good fight.
Yeah, you had it.
Yeah, I'm proud I got over a 1.
You know, when Minecraft was released, I didn't even know that.
All right, so our last guest, Abby's question is, who is the person in your life that inspired you the most and why?
Oh, man. Just in general or what? That's an open-ended question.
Yeah, I guess in general. We didn't get any specifics from her.
Okay. Man, who inspired me the most? We're going to go overtime just because I'm going to be sitting here thinking for so long. There's just so many people. If you narrow it down to Minecraft, I'm going to say Etho. But if you make it open-ended, man, I'm going to say my dad. He taught me a lot of stuff. He still teaches me stuff.
That's nice. All right. So if you were to create a question for us to ask our next guest on our show, what would it be?
I'm not going to steal Ben's question because that one was really funny.
Oh, you don't. Oh.
No.
I'm not going to. No, I don't. I feel like that should be a rule. You can't repeat questions.
Yes.
I'm going to put that in place for you guys, okay?
Someone would have to rewatch all 33 to make sure they're not.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you can let them know.
We were talking about Ben's question in the last episode as well.
Where were you?
Talking about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the last one yet. Oh, what's a good question? How about this? Which YouTuber do you like to watch the most?
Oh, that's fun.
I'm curious to see what the answer is.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I feel like you can get a lot out of someone based on what they watch on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
All right, so it's the end of this episode, and thank you so much, Zayin, for being on the Recess Rundown podcast. It was so fun to get to know you, chat about all things coding and Minecraft, and even get some advice on my guinea pig cage calculator.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course.
If you are a part of the Reese's community and would like to be on our show, please email us, Maddie and Ella, at recessrundown@gmail.com, or you can message us on the Recess platform exactly, and possibly you could be on the podcast too.
Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye!